here's Brody Brazil.
Okay, I'm titling this video Endgame Vocal Microphones because if you're putting together a home studio or you create content and you're looking to buy that microphone that ultimately never gets replaced, may I recommend either the Electro-Voice RE20 or the NEUMANN U87Ai. Now, wait a second. These are two totally different microphones, completely different price points. How could I recommend both of these, being the fact that they are so different from each other, if ultimately you're going to do the same job with them? Overall, yes, I want to make it very clear in this video before I get to samples of both, processed and unprocessed. It's important you know that these microphones are different in almost every way. Different brands, different technologies. One's a dynamic, one's a condenser, different price points. One costs an extra $0, let's just say. But these microphones can be harnessed to create a similar end result, especially with some processing, especially depending on how your home studio is or where you're going to be recording. You can get the most out of these microphones. Again, these are the Endgame microphones, the ones I think that if you buy these, you're not ever going to need to replace them for something better, depending on how you use either one of them. So that's my overall thought. I'm recommending either one of these as an in-game home studio mic. Again, the different price points will dictate how you need it, how much you're going to use it, how often, all those sorts of things. I'm not going to help you make that decision. Just know that you will be satisfied with both of these. I'm highly recommending both of these. And also this. Honorable mention goes to two other microphones that I have that are not going to be in this video, but the NEUMANN TLM103, also a fantastic choice, as well as the Sennheiser MKH416. I'm just not including them here, and it's not to disrespect them by saying they're not end-game mics. They very much are, but I'm trying to isolate it down to just these two of different backgrounds. Okay, so let's get into the differences here. A condenser mic versus a dynamic, and a treated space is especially critical for a mic like the U87Ai. Very sensitive, picks up everything, including reverberations in a room. The RE20 is not necessarily going to do that as much. A dynamic is just inherently not going to hear as much, so maybe considering your space and price point, this might be the RE20 a better option for you. But it's also important to let you know that I'm using right now the RE20 with my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X as a processor, but I'm also boosting the signal out of this microphone with an inline preamp. This is a Triton Audio Fed head, giving me about 27 or so dB before this mic even gets processed. I use phantom power to activate this inline preamp, so there is phantom power running into both these microphones right now. But it's important you know that they're both using phantom power. The dynamic does not necessarily use it or need it, but I am using it here. Other differences are this. If you're recording quiet sources, like you're whispering, or maybe you do some gentle speaking, or people that are into ASMR or whatever, you might just want to consider overall a condenser mic. A dynamic mic, when you're trying to boost the gain to get the levels right, whether it's before the fact on the preamp or after the fact in editing, you're going to be raising the self-noise level of the microphone. You will be hearing a little bit of hiss, for a better word. So quiet sources, probably better on the U87, which is a quieter mic, maybe a more sensitive mic. It's just going to hear those quiet sources a little bit better. I would also say that the U87, in terms of its frequency response curve, is a little bit more V-shaped. What does that mean? The low end and the high end of the frequency spectrum are a little bit more pronounced. Now, this is a flat microphone. I do want to let you know that unprocessed, this mic, it's got a lot of mid-range frequencies that don't necessarily complement the voice. But generally speaking, if I close talk this mic, I can really get some authority in the sound on the low end, and it also carries the high end pretty well. The RE20, for a dynamic, does a really good job at capturing the high end, the presence there, kind of the sparkle of the sound. A lot of dynamics they fall short in that area. The RE20 definitely does not do that. This one, though, also features the variable D technology, meaning that I can get all over this microphone right here, and it's not going to totally emphasize the proximity effect. Almost popped the P there. It's not going to be as boomy as I get close to it, as opposed to other microphones that do when you get close. Okay, so that's it. The U87Ai versus the RE20. You've been hearing samples. I'll give them to you one more time. I'll show you my signal chain for each. You can hear them processed and then unprocessed. Okay, this is the Neumann U87Ai fully processed with my vocal chain on the Universal Audio Apollo Twin X. The Neumann U87Ai is probably the best known and most frequently used studio microphone the world over. Its smooth and refined sound is as iconic as its elegant exterior design. The U87Ai is the standard microphone for speech and vocals. 3 polar patterns plus pad and low-cut options make it adaptable to a wide range of applications. And now here's the RE20 fully processed. I am using that inline preamp, the Triton Audio Fethead, and it's with my vocal chain on the Universal Audio Apollo Twin X. The RE20 dynamic cardioid microphone is truly an industry standard, a firm favorite for broadcasting, podcasting, and sound engineering worldwide. Its popularity also extends into music production as a premium-grade instrument microphone. Its variable D design and heavy-duty internal pop filter excel for close-in voice work, while an internal element shock mount reduces vibration-induced noise. Here's a sample of the Neumann U87Ai completely unprocessed. I'm only boosting 31 dB of gain in my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X. The Neumann U87Ai is probably the best known and most frequently used studio microphone the world over. Its smooth and refined sound is as iconic as its elegant exterior design. The U87 is the standard microphone for speech and vocals. 3 polar patterns plus pad and low-cut options make it adaptable to a wide range of applications. And last here is the RE20 completely unprocessed. Using the Fethead through my Universal Audio Apollo Twin X, I'm boosting 24 dB of gain. The RE20 dynamic cardioid microphone is truly an industry standard, a firm favorite for broadcasting, podcasting, and sound engineering worldwide. Its popularity also extends into music production as a premium-grade instrument microphone. Its variable D design and heavy-duty internal pop filter excel for close-in voice work, while an internal element shock mount reduces vibration-induced noise. So hopefully, if nothing else, this video proves that you can take 2 totally different microphones, different price points, backgrounds, designs, brands, and you can make them sound either similar enough or both excellent enough for your home studio applications. Let me know what you think about this video and these microphones in the comments section below. Also, while you're here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it provided you any value, and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll have lots more content just like this coming out in the near future. See you next time.